Hello everyone, and welcome back to Talk English. Today's listening challenge is very simple. If you can understand most of what I'm saying without subtitles, your English is probably around the B1 level. Now, don't worry if you don't understand every single word. That's completely normal. Even advanced English learners sometimes miss words while listening. The goal is not to understand everything perfectly. The goal is to understand the main ideas naturally. So just relax, listen carefully, and enjoy the podcast. A lot of people think learning English is only about grammar. They spend years studying rules, memorizing vocabulary, and doing exercises. But when they hear native speakers talking in real life, they suddenly feel lost. Why? Because listening is a completely different skill. Reading English and hearing English are not the same experience. When people speak naturally, words connect together very quickly. Sometimes pronunciation changes. Sometimes people speak informally. And sometimes they use expressions that you never learned in school. At first, this can feel frustrating. You may think your English is bad. But actually, your brain simply needs more listening practice. The good news is that listening improves naturally with repetition. The more English you hear, the easier it becomes to recognize sounds, patterns, and common expressions. That's why consistent listening is so powerful. When learners reach the B1 level, something interesting starts happening. English slowly becomes more automatic. Instead of translating every sentence in your head, you begin understanding ideas directly in English. For example, if someone says, "I was going to study, but I got distracted and spent the whole evening watching videos." A beginner may only understand a few words. But a B1 learner understands the situation immediately. At this level, you can usually talk about your experiences, your goals, your opinions, and your daily life. You can describe problems, tell stories, and have longer conversations. Of course, you still make mistakes sometimes. That's normal. Making mistakes is part of learning any language. In fact, many people never improve because they are too afraid of making mistakes. They stay silent because they want their English to sound perfect. But perfection is not the goal. Communication is the goal. Confidence is extremely important when learning English. Some people know a lot of grammar but feel nervous every time they speak. Others make many mistakes but communicate confidently because they practice regularly. The more you speak and listen, the more comfortable English becomes. One of the best ways to improve your listening is to make English part of your everyday life. You can listen to podcasts while walking, cleaning, or relaxing. You can watch videos in English every day. You can repeat sentences aloud to improve your pronunciation and speaking rhythm. Even small daily practice can create big results over time. Another important thing is patience. Language learning takes time. Sometimes you feel motivated and confident. Other times, you feel stuck and frustrated. That happens to everyone. But every time you practice, your brain is learning quietly in the background. Even when progress feels slow, you are still improving. Then one day, something amazing happens. You suddenly realize that you are understanding English naturally without translating everything. That is one of the biggest signs that your level is improving. So, if you understood most of this podcast, congratulations! Your English listening skills are probably around the B1 level. Keep practicing every day. Keep listening. Keep improving. And remember, you do not need perfect English to communicate successfully. Thanks for listening to Talk English. See you in the next episode.